current or recent streets won't forget footballers, players that people are going to talk about in a few years. You're going to see compilation videos on Twitter. You're going to see them all over your timeline. But who are they? Do you want to go first, Theo?
I'll go first. I think this might be a bit of an underrated shout, and it's more for this season. But I think he's already got an unreal compilation. Scott McTominay.
Oh my God, do you know what? I'm not actually angry at that. I could see it. There was shouts of him turning into a full-on striker when he was at Manchester United. I actually believe that. I think he was slightly disrespected by Manchester United. Maybe not right at the end. I think people started to appreciate the role he played a bit more, but I kind of agree with that shout.
From the clips I was watching with Napoli, it just reminds me of like a very lanky Paul Gascoigne.
Very lanky. That's the best description I've ever heard.
Lanky Paul Gascoigne, but he's been... I mean, maybe not his time at United, but he still has some moments.
Yeah.
But definitely at Napoli this season, I think.
All
definitely
right.
a streets won't forget player.
I can see that. Let me move on quickly to my first shout, and it is Patrick Bamford.
No, how?
Hear me out, right?
Okay.
Definitely, in a couple of years when Bamford's retired, that one season with Leeds in the Premier League, this is not biased at all, by the way, that one season with Leeds in the Premier League, he was the 4th top scorer, got 17 goals, hat-trick at Villa Park, scored some bangers. Even since then, when we've come down, he's scored 40-yard volleys in the FA Cup on the turn.
That was...
I think that we will see compilations of Patrick Bamford and people will think that he was really good just off those.
It's like saying Chris Wood's a streets won't forget player.
You're up next. Who have you got?
Okay, I think just based on last season, I think Mateta.
Okay. I mean, I feel like he could be good enough where he doesn't even become a streets won't forget. I nearly put him in, but I thought a couple more seasons with a fair few goals and he'll just be...
Yeah, maybe.
But for now, I could see that being a season people look back at it and go, yo, he was special.
And just that 6 months as well.
Yeah. That back end of the season, he was just smashing them in left, right and centre. My next shout is James Ward-Prowse.
Okay.
Free kick compilations galore, set piece compilations. And to be honest, I think he's maybe not underrated, but people don't talk about how much he's added to teams going forward a lot of the time. So I just can see it. I can just see in 15 years when your kids have never heard of him, you'll be going, look at these free kicks. He was absolutely unreal. Whereas he's never going to be in conversations for, you know, best 11 of whatever team.
It reminds me of like Rory Delap and his throw-ins. Just as Ward-Prowse and his free kicks.
Exactly. Who have you got?
I think in our current time, he's the most streets most forget player, and that is John Duran.
He's still really young.
I get it, but if he keeps up this just last minute goals, I think he can be a streets won't forget player.
Yeah, he won't keep that up forever though. That's a little bit but
based on this season, like streets won't forget.
I think this season could definitely be one of those. If he gets 1 or 2 more, that'd have to be some of the highest number of last minute goals to score for one club in a season. If he gets 1 or 2 more, and he's some incredible moments this year.
We're not even halfway through yet.
Yeah. Now I actually love to see it as well, but I feel a bit bad for him in a way because he's so young, and you can tell if he's getting brought on as a sub, the entire stadium's like, "Oh, we're gonna win. We're gonna pull this one back." I seen it the other day when they were playing Spurs, and then just nothing happened.
Yeah.
But I'll move on to another one who is up front, and that is Alexander Mitrovic.
Ooh.
You never hear him really mentioned anymore because he's gone to the Saudi League, but he was scoring goals in the Prem, and he's a different type of striker, a big brute up top that was just getting him in no matter what. I think those couple seasons, people go, yeah, he was actually sick. Maybe he'll come back at some point and do it again, but what do you think?
Yeah, I think definitely a good shout. He was a very like aggressive striker, but yeah, he's a good finisher.
But I think he's my best shout for a streets won't forget because everyone's already forgotten. How many goals did he get one season? Wasn't it like 30 or something?
Yeah, to be fair, but my worry is like streets won't forget in terms of like people will be like, oh, you're so good, or will they generally just forget him?
But then you'll see a compilation and go, oh, he was actually banging. You know, like people look at who was the Swansea striker, Spanish Don.
I know who you're on about.
Yeah, I can't remember that. He's going to annoy me if I don't remember his name now. Michu.
Yeah, Michu.
People look at him. Mitrovic got more goals, so he's going to have the same impact.
Yeah, I get that.
There we go. Who have you got next?
I think this is a great shout purely for goal catalogue, and he's already been forgotten because he went to Saudi Arabia so young. Ruben Neves.
Oh, yeah. Could be.
He's pure goal catalogue.
And he was quality. He was a great player. It's a shame that he went, isn't it? Look at this. Both of our Saudi League picks here. I wish they didn't go so early.
But I mean, I could show you right now 15, 20 goals from Ruben Neves, whether I was in the Championship or the Prem, where on the half volley, outside the box, top corner, off the crossbar.
I do like that shout, you know. I do like
Definitely.
that. My next one is kind of similar to Mitrovic, but I actually think he's a really awful player. I can just see, due to his aggression and his attitude on the pitch, people making these compilations, and it's Rich Allison.
Oh, not for me.
I know.
He hasn't got a goal catalogue.
No, but I think by the end of his time in the Prem, he'll have scored a fair few goals. There was a couple seasons where, you know, he got like 10 goals. I think that there's a few that are decent, but it'll be more like a shithousery compilation.
It's Anthony then.
No, because he's actually awful. Rich Allison's not as bad as Anthony. But I could just see it. I don't know. He angers so many teams. He angers so many fan bases. I just think that in a couple of years, maybe we could see Rich Allison actually used to be all right, you know. And if you put all of his 20 goals in 6 seasons together and a couple clips of him riling up fans, it'd work.
Okay, I've got another Saudi Arabian one.
Oh.
He only had 1 season, but I think Diaby. Villa.
I don't know if he did quite enough.
Top 4.
Yeah,
he was.
I can't remember any like standout highlight moments from him though.
Just pure skill, the way he take on a man or make that. I think every time I watch him, he makes at least 3 people in a game. Maybe. There was one that I nearly put in here, but it's definitely not a Streets Won't Forget anymore, and it's another Leeds one. But Rafinha's time at Leeds. Until this season.
Yeah, obviously now he's having the best fucking... I think he's probably one of the best players in the world right now.
The best player in the world.
Yeah, I think his time at Leeds, a lot of Leeds fans knew at the time, but I'm surprised no big Prem teams came in for him in the moment. I know Barcelona's one you can't really turn down if you're him, but that some of the goals he scored saved us from relegation, and he was just incredibly skillful the whole time.
I don't know if this is going to be a rogue shout or like a fair enough, but I think by the end of his career, Emile Smith-Rowe, I think just like a...
This is a bad one, this.
Okay, no, let me justify it.
Okay.
You saw it at Arsenal a couple of seasons ago before he got injured. You've seen it at Fulham this season. Just a player who's always going to be a mid-table team, and he's just like a solid English player. But it's like he isn't skillful. It's like he doesn't score long-range goals because he does. And it's a bit biased as an Arsenal fan. But I think Smith-Rowe in a few years will look back at him and be like, clutch player.
Okay, fair enough. I like him on the ball. I think he's a good player, but I think he's that injury prone. I don't know if he'll even be able to get a big enough compilation by the end of his career. I hope that you can, though. I think I really like him. He's a Leeds legend for me, so big ups to Smith-Rowe. My next shout is a really rogue one, right? And another one where I actually don't think they're that good, but I can just see goal compilations in the future, and it's Iniacho. Because he came through the ranks at City, didn't he? And then he went to Leicester, never really lit the world alight. Got a fair few goals in the Premier League. I think there was one season he got 12 goals. But I can just see, because some of the goals were quite impressive, he was a little bit awkward on the ball, if that makes sense. I can just envision people bigging him up to a higher level than he was ever actually at.
I've got 2, but I'm just going to briefly say one because I could get howled for this. Ross Barkley. Free kicks at Everton. I think people forget that massively. His time at Everton. Yeah, his time in Everton, he was top 5 midfielders in the league. I think people forget that. He'd score a free kick every week. Where there's a long range shot. He did a bit of Villa. I mean, I don't know if you remember that game when Villa beat Liverpool 7-2. Barkley got 2-3 goals that game.
Yeah, I don't disagree with the shout. I just don't know how. I think most people know about him. Like, they know what he offers. It's just a shame he's injury prone. It's like putting Wilshere in there back in the day. Everyone's like, no, he's very good. He's just never going to play a full season.